Hi, this is Ashok from ZyNerd. Welcome to another session on NEET UG 2026 by ZyNerd. You would have already gone through our rank analysis and other videos. This is the first video on explaining the difference between deemed universities and private institutes. There were a lot of queries on what are deemed universities, what are private institutes, etc. This video is in English. We would also have done videos in Tamil and possibly in other languages as we move forward. This will give you clarity on what are deemed universities and what are private institutes. These terms are usually used, and we'll also take you through what is the seat matrix distribution, where you will get these seats, what are the usual fee structures and the closing ranks. Beyond this, we also have a separate session on open seats available that will give you more information on what are the seats available across India for all candidates across India. Let us say I am from the state of Uttar Pradesh. I want to know what are the seats available across India for me, which I am eligible for in any state. So in that case, I would look at, let us say, seats from Karnataka. I would look at seats from, let us say, Madhya Pradesh. Are these seats available, etc.? That we will look at. That would usually be in private institutes only. We will also have a look at why we are saying so. Right now, first thing that we will look at is what are deemed universities and what are private institutes. A very brief start over here. Deemed universities are deemed to be universities. They are not necessarily deemed universities, they are deemed to be. They are like universities, and all the deemed university seats come under All India Counselling. They are allotted on an All India basis, which means they are not split across as based on domicile. Basically, you belong to any state of India, then you will be eligible for the deemed university seats. These come under the All India Counselling, and MCC, Medical Counselling Committee, conducts the counselling, and these are open to all. There is an exception over here which we will look at the later part of the session. Private institutes come under the state quota. They are usually called, referred to as state quota, management quota, semi-government seats, etc. So that we will look at. Counselling would be the state authority. So all the private institute seats, counselling would be under the state authority, and the quota is called state open. There are multiple terms used. We'll have a look at those as well. First thing that we are looking at, first thing we need to clarify is we are only looking at non-government institutes. Any institute which is of government nature or quasi-government, which is like ESIC, corporations, bodies, which are PSU institutes, those we are not including. We are including only institutes which are of non-government nature in this particular session. These usually, when you look at non-government institutes, first query that comes in is the institute good? Because we usually see institutes, some private institutes, non-government institutes, deemed universities, which are not good in terms of academics, case load, etc. Second, what is the fee structure of the institutes? These are the two major queries that come up when we are deciding to choose between choose a non-government institute. But the first question that needs to come up usually is whether it is a deemed to be university or a private institute. What is a deemed to be university? Any institute which is run, any institute which is a medical college, usually starts as attached to a state government university or a private university, usually attached to a state government university in most of the cases. For example, let us say you take an institute from Bangalore, it is usually attached to Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. It might be a private institute, but it is attached to Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. But still, after a few years, or after 1 or 2 years, 10 years, 15 years, an institute can decide to take deemed university status. Who gives this? This is given by UGC, University Grants Commission, which is under the Ministry of Higher Education. Ministry of Higher Education has been in the news recently, but it is under the Ministry of Higher Education, and they provide through UGC deemed university status to these private institutes, private medical colleges. Earlier they would be under RGUHS, which is a government university. Later, after taking this approval, they would move on to become a deemed to be university. So that is how usually it works. And what is required for that approval? An institute should be NAC accredited beyond this 3 point something CGPA by NAC accreditation by the National Board of Accreditation. An institute should have completed 10 years at the top as an institute in NIRF, or the institute should have completed 5 years, 5 continuous years in the top 50 for a category. So those criterion are there. Depending upon the criteria, the UGC decides, and in terms of faculty ratio, requirements, etc., they have some criteria and they'll decide to provide deemed university status to these institutes. And once deemed university status is provided, they would move away from their current state university and move on to be an independent university. They are not dependent. So earlier what used to be under the state control now has become central in nature. The university itself is their university, they would name it the same or different, but that is central in nature, and they are no longer controlled by the state. State has no authority once an institute becomes a deemed university, deemed to be university. They are called deemed to be universities because they are not actually universities. They are considered like universities, and that status is given by UGC. The exams will be conducted by them. Earlier, the exams would have been conducted by RGUHS, common exams for all institutes under RGUHS, all medical colleges. But once it becomes a deemed university, their university alone will conduct the exams and also do the marking, etc., etc. Private institutes, they will still be under NMC. National Medical Commission is the authority which will approve everything, but it is not under the state control. Private institutes, like we said, every institute usually, every non-government institute usually starts as a private institute, and these private institutes would come under the state authority. Usually there are two types of institutes. One, private institutes under the state government university. An example would be, let us say, an institute under private institute under Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. Within that, there might be a private institute, and this institute, let us say, would be having exams from Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. It would be affiliated to them. All questions come to Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. There are also private institutes under state private university. What is the difference? Deemed university status is provided by UGC, but a state can say, let us say Karnataka can have an act which says, okay, we can have state level private universities. The state government only will govern them. Everything is under the state control, but still they are universities themselves. They don't have to affiliate to RGUHS. They can run their own examinations. They will run their own syllabus accordingly with NMC, as per NMC rules. So that university is a state private university. For example, MS Ramaiah has become a state private university, not a deemed university. So there is a distinct difference, right? MS Ramaiah is a state private university, but some other university in Karnataka, like JSS, Kasturba, they are all deemed universities. This will still be under the control of the state government. It is the state government's act which has resulted in creating this state private university. Under that, there would be a medical college. So the terms usually used, self-financing medical college. We'll explain that. Self-financing institutes or private institutes. Self-financing institutes is a term that is used only in the southern states like Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, etc. It is the same as private institute. Self-financing would mean there is no aid by the government, so it is all the same. There is no difference. Almost there is very, very minimal difference. Management quota seats are paid seats. Usually these are referred to by many candidates. These terms are referred to as high cost seats or high fee seats. So management seats or paid seats is a term used. This also happens in self-financing institutes. This also is part of self-financing institutes. Then there are other terms like government quota seats of private institutes, government quota seats of self-financing institutes. So basically, when there is a private institute, they might have some seats under government quota or low fee structure. Those seats are referred to as government quota, and this is only eligibility may differ. Only the state candidates might be eligible, or all candidates might be eligible. It depends. Now, this low fee seats might also be called semi-government seats in some states. Let us say there are certain states which might call them semi-government seats. So these are the usual terms used. All you need to worry about is what is whether there is a private institute. If there is a private institute, where does the seats fall under? Which counseling the seats fall under? And what is the fee structure, whether I am eligible. All that matters is this: seat is good or not, which counseling does it fall under, how should I apply, what is the fee structure for the seats, whether I am eligible for those seats. That is it. Now we look at the basic difference between deemed to be universities and private medical colleges. First, in terms of accreditation, like we said, deemed to be universities are accredited by the Ministry of Higher Education, UGC, central in nature. These come under, private medical colleges come under the state government university, a state government university or state private universities. If you look at Rajasthan, most of the private institutes, almost all I think, would be under state private universities. Very few are deemed. Usually in terms of numbers, very few deemed universities exist. Most of them are either private institutes or those which come under state private universities. Governance, this is central in nature, complete autonomy to the institute. Institute is not governed by the state laws. This is under the state authority. Even though one might be a state private university, run their own examination, it is under the state act. So the state can govern and question the particular institute. So that is a big difference. No fee regulation. till last year. The deemed to be universities do not have any fee regulation. Today, a deemed to be university can say my MBBS seat is at a fee structure of 50 lakhs for normal paid seats. So that is a big difference. No fee regulation. Whereas in states, there is a fee regulation. The Supreme Court orders in multiple cases, especially with respect to admissions of private institutes or self-financing institutes, says that every state which is offering professional courses, especially MBBS or medical courses, they have to have a fee regulatory authority headed by a retired retired judge of the High Court, and this authority will determine the fee. How will they determine the fee? They'll take all the expenses of the institute and then they will say these are the expenses of the institute, and if I collect this much fee from these category of students, NRI this fee, or government quota this fee, semi-government seats this fee, this category of seats higher fee, management paid seats this fee, then both account and there is zero profit. That is how an institute is supposed to run, and that is how the fee regulatory committee is supposed to define the fees. Whether it happens this way, etc., is completely different question, but this is how it is supposed to happen. That is as per the Supreme Court orders that exist. So every state will have a fee regulatory committee, and for every private medical college seat, whether it is under state government university or state private university, the fee has to be regulated by this authority. The challenge is somewhere over here in terms of whether it is how state private universities can be governed, etc. But that is how it is. Right now, however, one additional thing is, when the National Medical Commission Act 2019 came into place, gazetted, there is a clause which says that 50% of deemed university seats would be at the government institute fee structure of the state. For example, let us say a particular state has the government institute's fee structure as 73,000 per annum. It is usually lesser, but let us say it is 73,000 per annum. That is the fee structure of government institutes. In that state, there is a deemed university that exists. Then 50, and it has 100 seats. 50 seats should be at this fee. The rest of them are what fee? There is no regulation, but 50 seats should be at this fee. Now the problem is who will regulate this, because they are not under the state authority, and whether this can be regulated, whether NMC can actually go ahead and say that deemed universities who should be at this fee, or should there be a fee regulatory authority which should define, etc., are questions. Some of the states like Bihar tried to implement it, and the deemed universities went to court, and then this is now currently stuck in the Supreme Court. All those cases of different states have been taken together, and the Supreme Court is stuck in the Supreme Court. This happened 3-4 years back, but still nobody is taking any action, and therefore today there is no fee regulation, and the NMC clause of 50% fee is not implemented. Counselling authority, 100% of seats are allotted through All India Counselling. Almost every seat of the deemed universities are allotted through All India Counselling, except for 6 or 7 institutes. We'll have a look at those institutes where some seats are available through state counselling. So all I know is if I want to take a deemed university seat, then I'll have to go through All India Counselling seat. But however, all private medical colleges seats are available through the state medical counselling only. If there is a private institute, let us say in the state of Bihar, where will I apply? In the Bihar state counselling. It will not come under any other counselling, only under the Bihar state counselling. 85% of seats are paid seats, and 15% can be NRI. So within deemed university, there is one paid seat category, clearly a higher fee structure, but lesser than the NRI category, which is like 15%. For these paid seats, all candidates across India are eligible. Every candidate across India, no domicile based reservation, and this NRI, every NRI candidate across India is eligible. However, here, if you look at private institutes, maximum 15% can be NRI. It is up to the institute to decide, or depends on the state, but the rest can be split differently. Here we said all 85% paid seats usually carry the same fee structure. Here, the rest, let us say the institute has 100 seats and 15% are given to NRI. The remaining 85 seats are there, right? They can split it as 2-3 different categories. One given to government quota. Karnataka has 3-4 different categories. One given to government quota, one given to Karnataka state candidates at a higher fee structure. Some may be minority seats. Some may be high fee structure seats, like open seats or others category, etc. So it depends on the state. Each state can define what it needs to do within this with this 85%, and they can split it across differently. And the fee structure, same for all seats, like we said, different fee structure for government quota. This is where it becomes crucial, because deemed universities are straightforward. You go into All India Counselling, get the seats, whereas the fee structure is also 2 parts, except for some Jain minority, Muslim minority seats. all the 85% are in one category. If you are NRI, you have another category. Fee is pretty straightforward. Since they can always fix their fee, they can fix as much as possible. Clarity on fee structure is also there. There is no regulation. But as far as private institutes are concerned, they'll call it government quota, management quota, minority quota, institutional quota, open seats, etc., etc., etc. and all. So for each state, you have to go and figure out what is the fee structure, whether I am eligible for, and also figure out if there is additional fee, hidden fee, because already there is some regulation. Wherever there is regulation, many institutes don't accept it, right? They have their own logic to get additional fee, whether it is right or not. So that threat exists over here. And finally, the eligibility, all candidates are eligible. Here the eligibility might vary as per state rules. Some states may say that for every private institute seat, every candidate across India is eligible, but some states might say that some seats would be reserved for my state candidates as per rules, and some seats would be reserved for everyone across India, and that too they might have a split of minority, etc. and also state rules are relevant. Private medical colleges, a little complicated within the state, deemed straightforward because everything is through all India counselling and very minimal split. Private institutes, like we said, we have two categories under state government university or state private universities. Now deemed to be universities. Now the next question comes in. Okay, this is all fine, but how do I understand what is a deemed to be university? What is a private institute? I have a lot of questions. In my state, I have MS Ramaya, which is this a university? Everybody says it is MS Ramaya University. Is it a deemed university or a private university? You are saying that it is a state private university. In my state, I have Geetanjali, which is a university. Is it a deemed university or a private institute? Which counselling should I attend? Very straightforward. Nothing. There's no confusion at all. There are 62 institutes here today. As of now, last year there were around 59 odd institutes. There are 3 new institutes which have come in from private institutes. Private institutes are private universities which have moved on to deemed this year. 3 from Tamil Nadu. So in total there are 62 institutes. There might be 1 more institute or 2 more institutes later depending upon the increase in seats. As of now, deemed increase has not been mentioned. So in case or new institutes might come up, whatever be the case, currently all these 62 institutes are deemed universities. So let us say you look at Andhra Pradesh, you want to know whether an institute is a private medical college or a government medical college. I have an NRI medical college in Andhra Pradesh. I want to know whether it is private or deemed. I want to know that. How will I do that? The only deemed university in Andhra Pradesh is Geetham, and if it is not Geetham, then it is a private medical college. That is as simple as that. Delhi, I want to know private institutes. The only deemed university in Delhi is this. Let us say I take the state of Maharashtra. Maharashtra might have a lot of, Karnataka usually have a lot of deemed universities. You have all these institutes mentioned over here. If your institute that you are looking for is in this particular list in Maharashtra, then it is a deemed university. If it is not in the 62 list, it is a private institute. So that, or a state private university. Karnataka, MS Ramaya is there here. MS Ramaya will not be seen here. Therefore, Karnataka's MS Ramaya is a private institute. Kasturba Medical College is a deemed university. I go here and figure out Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, Manipal are here. They are deemed universities. So which all these 62 institutes, I will go into All India Counselling for allotment. There's one exception, we'll see. There are a few exceptions, we'll see. As of now, we have 62 institutes with 13,799 seats in total, and that one seat missing is also due to a reduction that will also come up. I think there's some issue with Amrita, and that is why the reduction. Kerala, there is only one deemed university. There are quite a few seats which only one deemed university. Uttar Pradesh, Kerala, and there are many states which do not have a deemed university at all. So have a look at this. This is straightforward. There are 2 deemed universities, Symbiosis Medical College for Women and Mallareddy Medical College for Women. Both are only women medical colleges, as in basically only female candidates are eligible. Now next we move on to the exceptions. We said all 13,499 seats, all deemed university seats are under All India Counselling. But there is an exception to that. 7 institutes, 6 institutes from Karnataka and 1 institute in Jharkhand, Jamshedpur. This is in Jamshedpur. So all these institutes, they have a tie-up with the state to say that, okay, some seats, when I started with the cause in mind. Some seats I needed some support from the government. Some seats I will give to the state government. I will not take it on my own. So that difference exists. So which means in all these seat numbers, whatever you see, there's an increase now. So it might slightly differ. Last year in 2025, out of these seats, 37 from JMM and 12 from JNMC, JSS 13, Kasturba 52 and so on, Kasturba Mangalore 52 and so on. There's no Kasturba Manipal, Mangalore alone. All these seats would be under the state counselling. Only these seats. The rest of them will be under All India counselling. So the only exception is, let us say I am looking at Kasturba Mangalore, I should understand that I will be able to take seats of Kasturba Mangalore under All India counselling and the rest under state counselling. Can anyone go and attend Karnataka state counselling and get those 52 odd seats from Kasturba? No, that doesn't happen that way. Only those who are eligible for the government quota will be eligible for these seats. And note that if you have an option of taking these seats under the Karnataka government quota counselling, you are from Karnataka, then you have an advantage here, because in All India counselling the fee is this, but in the state counselling the fee is far lesser. And except for JJMM, you see that all the other fee structures are very, very less comparatively. We are again saying comparatively with respect to deemed. It is almost like 1/10 or 1/8 of the total fee. In some cases, 1/3 of the total fee. Manipal Tata is a medical college in Jamshedpur. Again, some seats are allotted to the 25 seats are allotted to the state government, but still the fee structure is not much of a difference. So this is only a portion of the seats. This is only in these two states. Private institutes. How many private institutes are there? Around 330 private institutes are there with around 62k seats in total. If you look at it, there are 13,499 deemed university seats, 62,044 around private institute seats, which makes it around, let us say, 75k or 75.5k total seats which are in medicine under private or deemed universities. This is higher than the government medical college seats. This has surpassed the government medical college seats. So basically private or deemed university seats put together surpasses. What are the number of institutes? If you look at this you'll get a summary of all the number of seats. For example, if you look at Uttar Pradesh, that has 38 private medical colleges, and Karnataka tops with 39 private medical colleges. Uttar Pradesh, however, is higher in terms of number of seats, with Karnataka being the second. So usually you will see that UP, Karnataka, and then maybe you look at states like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, which will have pretty decent number of private institute seats. So these are the states where, and combined Andhra Pradesh, Telangana would have more number of seats usually. So that is how the entire picture looks like, and you will have to decide based on Maharashtra too. I missed out, sorry. Maharashtra will have a larger number of seats. All these seats come under the state counselling. Within the state counselling, you might have a distinction in 2 or 3 states. For example, in the states of Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh, you will have 2 separate counsellings for this set of seats. So if you take let us say Tamil Nadu 25 institutes, Telangana has 2 institutes, and Andhra Pradesh 20 private institutes. All these institutes will have a separate counselling usually. So that is how this works. And you look at the terms used here. We already said self-financing, management quota, government quota within private institutes. So each state you will have to try to figure out. Now how many seats is this? We said 330 institutes with around 62,000 odd seats. Now my next question is, what is the whole use in looking at all this information? I know that deemed, I can take it on an all India basis. So that is probably okay. I will take it on an all India basis. Depending upon the fee structure, I will have a look at those institutes. This fee structure and every information is available in ZyNerd, including the updates which will come up before the counselling starts. Now, what is the whole point in looking at private institutes? I should look at only my state? No, it is not like that. Every candidate across India is eligible for private institute seats under these 16 states. These 16 states offer some seats for all candidates across India, basically all India basis. It might be 10 seats, it might be 50 seats, it might be 100 seats or 2000 seats. Doesn't matter. Some seat is available for you if you are interested in this state. In the private institutes alone, in the 330 private institutes, you will have among these, within those states, whatever institutes are there, you will have private institute seats available on an all India basis. This is called open seats. These seats are called open seats, and the states which offer them are called open states. But usually what happens is, in some of these states at least, what is offered to their state candidates is of a lesser fee, and what is offered to other state candidates is a higher fee, but not necessarily everywhere. For example, Kerala might have very few seats, 15% of the private institute seats available on an all India basis, but their fee structure is still the same for government, whoever is in Kerala and whoever is from outside. It is 9 lakhs, approximately 9 lakhs. This is a huge amount, but still there is no difference. So the competition is higher for this 15% seats. Similarly, let us say you have the state of Uttar Pradesh, they might offer fees at a particular fee structure. You will have to see what fee structure is there for open states. The ZyNerd has every information on every fee structure across every state across India, including these open seats, and this will give you an idea. if you're okay with traveling to any place, let us say you belong to the southern states, then you are okay with only these states which are which have let's say Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, which have seats, then you should limit yourself in terms of location while looking at the data, and then look at these seats. But if you're open, let us say I belong to Maharashtra, I am open with any state across India, including Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, I am perfectly open with all these, then you can look at 16, and then for your rank range decide on which one is possible and which one would be good for me. We'll give you a broad reference here. Deemed all India paid quota, the fee range ranges from 10 lakhs to 30.5 lakhs. This is all per annum fee structure, and even till 9.3 lakhs all India rank range in 2025 candidates got seats. So this 9.3 lakhs usually refers to the highest fee structure. If you look at the 10 lakh seats, that is only one institute, Symbiosis Medical College for Women, that closes very early. You would be surprised to see that candidates would take Kasturba Medical College Manipal, or in times Mangalore too, when government seats are also available, because it is affordable. Even though the fee structure is 17 lakhs, they would want to look at one of the best deemed universities in India, one of the best institutes in India, in the possibly in the top 10-15, Kasturba Medical College Mangalore, deemed university, 17 lakhs I pay instead of a below average government institute which is at 10,000, 12,000. So that is also there, that also happens. But usually depending upon the fee, there is a change in the ranks at which you get. This information is available in ZyNerd. Deemed NRI seats, if you are an NRI candidate, 23.9 lakhs to 1.3 crores, you will have seats available till 13.1, which means lakhs range. Last year 13.1 lakh was almost the last of the eligibility, 40% eligibility, which means every candidate would get a named NRI seat. Which institute you get might differ, but if you are ready to pay any fee, in this case 1.3 crores into 5 is 6.5 crores, you will be eligible for per around 4.5 times. If you multiply, you can get whatever amount that is, that you will get. You will be able to get a seat at that fee structure. Private institute state counseling fee ranges from 1.8 lakhs to 35 lakhs. 1.8 lakhs is a very minimal set of seats available in a smaller state, but otherwise 35 lakhs, it goes up to even 35 lakhs. Both fee and eligibility depends on the state. You will have to figure out for each state. Private NRI seats 13.3 lakhs to 1.7 crores. This is all per annum. Into 4.5 is supposed to be your actual fee. So 1.7 crores into 4.5, which possibly will come to 7.6 or 7.7 crores of fee in total. Those level of seats are available. This should be in Karnataka, I believe. And they, in case these NRI seats are not taken up, some of these NRI seats don't get taken up, so then they will be converted to management quota and will move on to normal fee structure, which is possibly 30 lakhs or to 40-50 lakhs. So this is basically what it is. If you are from your state, you will obviously look at what is available for you in your state in government quota, lesser fee structure, etc. But if you are going to another state, you will look at the open seats, and within some states you will also see that in Karnataka, open seats itself are available under two categories. One is 12 lakh fee structure and another is 30 lakhs to 60 lakhs fee structure, not the NRI part, beyond that. So that distinction also you need to work around. ZyNerd has a clear makes a clear distinction of open states, and if you click on open states as a counseling, then it will give you all the information. But let us say I am looking at open states in Tripura, I am looking at Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. You will have to apply separately for Tripura, separately for Uttar Pradesh, separately for Uttarakhand, if those are your choices. So, and finally, within those private institute seats or deemed university seats too, you will have religious minority, and in private institute seats you will have both religious minority and linguistic minority. In all India you have Jain minority and Muslim minority institutes in deemed, but there are a lot of religious minority and linguistic minority institutes available across India. If you belong to a particular state and your mother tongue is not the same as the state's language, then you will be linguistic minority. So basically a Tamil speaking candidate in the state of Karnataka will be a linguistic minority in Karnataka if they are domiciled of Karnataka. Basically they fall under the Karnataka government quota 10 years eligibility clause. So that is linguistic minority. You can't be a Tamil speaking candidate and go to Maharashtra, native of Tamil Nadu, you are staying in Tamil Nadu, go to Maharashtra and claim linguistic minority, or Karnataka and claim linguistic minority. You should have stayed in Karnataka. Religious minority works the other way around. You are a religious minority irrespective of the state you belong to, but you might have priorities there. So basically some candidate who is in Karnataka belonging to Christian minority will get first preference there, and second preference would go to other state Christian minority. But there are a lot of states where Muslim minority, like for example Muslim minority candidates have complete preference. So you go to Uttar Pradesh and claim Muslim minority, you and Uttar Pradesh Muslim minority candidates will have same preference. So you look at those religious minority institutes if you want to take those up. So fee fixation we have already discussed. Fortunately, if let us say deemed universities 50% fee is implemented by the next year at least, then there will be some respite. This year it will not, it doesn't look like happening. So this is what we have covered under deemed universities versus private institutes. Hope this is very clear. You can call us on 0806903 for any information. hello@zynerd.com. We would respond. We though we are not committed to it in terms of subscription, we will respond, bring back to subscribers as well. You can have a look at it. Our Telegram channel will give you all the information, and the ZyTales community, you can put up your queries. Seniors, we are trying to get them answered. Our WhatsApp group, please join our WhatsApp channel. Over the last week, it has been difficult for us to respond back, but we would be definitely responding back going forward. Hope you this information was helpful. We'll also be coming up with much information that will be helpful during the counseling process as well. Thanks a lot for watching.